Why do you think that's such a common injury for the NBA now?
KG made an interesting point. He was like, they don't practice no more.
I be pushing the coach like, yo, we need to practice more. If we're going to be here for 30, 45 minutes, like, let's touch up. Podcast P fam, welcome back to another episode of Podcast P, a Wave original. It's your boy PG. Join with me is my guy, Dallas Rutherford.
Simple clap today. That's all you're getting.
No hat today. We're going with the clean ball.
You gotta let the baldy show a little bit every once in a
One.
while.
He got a fresh ball.
Fresh.
Right.
We got Jackie Long. Vale. Vale.
Come on now, quit playing.
And ladies and gentlemen.
Vale.
It's a long story.
Long story. Let me tell you on camera.
And our next guest today is an NBA champ, a finals MVP, a 10-time All-Star, not to mention a LA legend. We hyped to have him on the show. Give it up for the truth. Paul Pierce, baby.
Welcome to the show.
You know before we start, P, hold on.
What's up, bro?
What you got? What you got?
Hold on, P.
Every guest here.
You got to do it.
I'm saying though.
What you say?
Where you find this?
Don't even worry about it. Just know where it's going to be at. Do it
He
all.
just fucked the whole show up. Bung bung.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. Come on, man. I feel real good.
That's a hard one to get.
Come on.
Nah, that jersey is hard.
Come on.
Because
Those
the gold and green down sell down.
Yeah, the price just went up. Price just went up. I tell y'all that. Hey, good having you on the show,
Yeah,
man.
man, for sure. I know
Yes,
it's
sir,
been a long
OG.
time coming.
Absolutely. Talk to us, man. What's new in the space, in the world over there?
Man,
What you got going?
I've been enjoying retirement, man. Just kids. I got a couple different other shows I'm doing. Obviously, y'all know about what me and KG do.
Love it.
I do with KG Certified. I'm doing stuff with Fox Sports with Keyshawn and Joy on the daily. We talk show called Speak. And then I got my other podcast called The Truth After Dark.
Yep.
Where we talking about relationships and stuff like that.
Fan of
after
both.
dark, after dark stuff, we get down to the nitty gritty. You know
I'm
what I'm
surprised you
saying?
ain't got a cooking show yet.
That's coming though.
Okay, 'cause I know you be
I'll
cooking.
be on the
you be-
grill. On the
he
grill.
do it. He do it
yeah, that's
hard.
coming.
Yeah. So because it could be a lot of like break down the cooking. Is it
Like I'm a grill.
Grill,
I'm
okay.
grill.
Okay.
I want to do the grill stuff. So I could throw. I know how to like fillet a whole fish. If I caught a fish in the river, I could take it out, fillet it, like because you like the fish, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
You know how to fillet?
Yep.
Yeah, I know how to fillet it, cut it like that, boom, clean it, all the way from A to Z.
Okay.
On the grill, season it. My ribs is cracking, fall off the bone, stay. Yeah, that's just some of my hobbies and stuff like that. And I just try to stay busy.
Yeah.
Do a little travel. I've been to Australia a couple times since I've been retired.
Okay.
Life's been good. It's been fun,
Yeah.
Because you get to enjoy all the fruits of your labor now, because once it was over for me and I woke up and I didn't want to do the summer grind, and it was just like now just spending time with the kids and, a lot has happened since I've been retired. It's been a little ups and downs, but I'm good. I'm good.
Well, you look good, man.
Yeah.
You look happy and everything.
Oh,
Shit.
Nah, you still stay in shape. I do be seeing you
I
post on the
work out
stories
like
and-
3 or 4 days a week. I got it in this morning.
Okay.
I've been getting some shots up lately, but it's just to
Yeah.
get a sweat. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of getting in shape,
It's a few of my retired buddies need to be.
Yeah.
They need to get out there and
tell
get a
them, come
sweat.
on, lace them shits back up, bro.
We got room in the church league if you ever want to come over.
I can't do the church league though.
You could do it.
I can do the church league for
Got
sure.
a game tomorrow night. We'll see.
Speaking of getting in shape, right?
Yeah.
We saw the viral clip of you walking the 20 miles. After the bet, the Celtics lose to the Knicks, game 2.
Right.
Did you walk the full 20?
There's no. What do you think?
It looked legit. Like it but then it looked like you had a lot of energy still too, though. I know. If I was walking
I got some
20
help
miles,
along the way. You know, I asked people to bring me some water.
Okay.
You know, wiping off the sweat. It was a good walk though. You didn't see I woke up at 5 in the morning.
No, I thought it was legit.
Nah, it was legit.
Yeah,
I thought it was legit.
It was legit. Of course. Yeah, I walked that, man. Come on.
That's a long time.
Listen. Because I hike 3.5 miles probably twice a week. And that's uphill.
Okay.
And that takes me an hour, 5 minutes. So it's 20 miles. 6-7 hours that you knock that out.
Before work, though?
Man, hey, dude, I'm a man of my honor. You know, 10 toes down.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm a man of
That's a pure athlete right there.
You know, I didn't know it was going to go crazy like that, though. Man, I swear, I felt like I had a cult following. It was people on the street waving me down.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, cheering me on and stuff.
Right.
It was crazy.
That probably had to help the process. Like, that time was flying
was
by
honking.
at that point. Yeah.
6 hours. That's a long time.
That's a long ass time. Walking?
time.
Yeah, it's
Walking?
just walking, though.
I know. I'm just saying
know what
that's
I mean?
even
Yeah.
long. That it makes it seem
At any
long.
point, was you like, damn, I shouldn't have did this?
Yeah, of course. I sat down. I sat down a little
Probably
bit.
slept good in the motherfucker that night.
Man, my feet was hurting for like a week, though.
What kind of running shoes you had on?
Man, you don't even, I can't even say. I walked in Air Force Ones.
Oh, man. What was you doing?
I was cooked.
You walked in
Oh,
brick.
man.
I was cooked.
Air Force
I
One.
was cooked.
They was slides at the end of that walk.
For real.
And they're already
Straight
flat. So
slides.
you know his feet was, oh my God.
Straight slides. I wasn't even thinking about it because that's what I wear usually every day. I didn't even think about it. I just started stepping.
Yeah.
Didn't even
got
think
to
about
step.
getting some running shoes.
No, I got running
walking
shoes too. I got shoes I work at. I got cross training shoes, all of that.
Yeah.
I said I'm gonna do it in the Air
I didn't
Force.
even, once I already got like a mile down, I couldn't
It's
turn
too late.
around.
Yeah.
You know what I
It's
mean?
too late.
Right.
Talk to us a little bit about the current state of where the Celtics is at, right? They just traded Drew, got Simons back. KP, they got off of. Now there's, I've heard stuff and seen stuff about, JB is maybe on the table, maybe not on the table. What's your honest thoughts of, kind of those moves that was made and where you see the Celtics going forward?
Man, you don't like it because you looked at a team when they won last year. You like, man, this team could be a dynasty because they were all relatively young.
Still in their prime.
They didn't already been through their growing pains and stuff. But you start to understand the business of it now because it's new ownership. When new ownership come in, PG, that from what I've seen from my time in the league and all the way up until now, I knew right away it's gonna be something. Because when I was in my second or third year, we had a new owner and they traded everybody. And listen, you just paid $6 billion for a team. You don't want a $500 million payroll.
Right.
You in the business of making money at the end of the day. Yeah, you want to win, but you want a cheaper version to try to win. And I get it. What they trying to do while still staying competitive, but I still think their window is open. I hope they don't trade JB though. As long as you got Tatum and Brown, you can figure out the other pieces because they still relatively young. I mean, JB will be 29 coming up, I believe, and Tatum 27 next year. So they still got a lot. And then the way y'all playing, look at KD is 37, still playing high level. Steph 37, still Bron 40. Even yourself in your 30s, y'all still play at a high level. So they are in their prime. So you can say for the next 6 years, let's see what's up with these two. Because when you look at OKC and what they did, they got a for sure MVP. All-star, and then you got a bunch of good players. If you can surround that around JB and Tatum, you just got to refigure it out now.
Right.
I think this is the year coming up to where you like, all right, this is a transition year. Let's evaluate everything.
Yeah.
Let's see how far or how close we are when Tatum comes back. So if they look at themselves and they like a 4 or 5 seed, okay, you add Tatum to that mix, they still a contender.
Do you contribute like this stuff being the whole new CBA, right? The aprons now getting involved.
Yeah.
And how teams construct how owners construct their teams and stuff. You think that's what's, because you hear, I've heard, Kroenke talking about his Nuggets team, one injury away and shit, number 15 might be available.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? So you think, is this just what the new NBA is of, owners, we ain't listen. It's gonna affect us in the long run.
Yeah.
By staying in this second apron, like let's make moves when we can.
Yeah, but you got to understand these owners they fans of the team, but they businessmen.
Mm-hmm.
They like, yeah, I want to win, but like I don't want to get taxed.
Right.
And so that is going to change the way they build teams now. You ain't going to see. I don't know if you're going to see any more super teams.
Right. You can't.
You can't afford it. Because once you get into that apron, second apron, it's like, well, hold on. Now I'm paying a $200 million tax.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the way teams is going to be built moving forward, you're going to have probably that one super max player.
That's true.
And then we got to figure out how we can use the rest of this money to make depth.
Mm-hmm.
You saw Indiana this year. They had a bunch of guys that were really good, had a lot of depth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the case of OKC, they're going to come up on this problem in a couple of years because you got to pay Shea. He's going to make the super max.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got to figure out what you giving Jay. He probably worth the max too.
Mm-hmm.
Then like, damn, what about Chet? Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Then what you going to do with the rest of these cats?
Right.
So they're going to get into a situation to they can run. It's going to be the end of dynasties, I think. You ain't going to be able to keep teams together like how Spurs and Golden State, the Lakers, Lakers, you ain't gonna be able to do that no more. And that's why you see we have 7 new champions in the last 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's ever happened. I no, it's never happened. Like I can name all the champions. I can name every championship team from 80 till today.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
And there's no time where there were 7 different champions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your Celtics team always believed that you guys would have won again if KG wasn't injured in 2009, and you just talked about why dynasties are kind of going away. Why do you think that is? Because, again, we haven't seen a repeat champion in 10 years. So what about today's NBA makes it so difficult to build a dynasty?
Well, for one, you have to draft well. All this... getting guys in free agencies, there's only going to be a certain amount of teams that can get the free agents all the time, like the Lakers or, no tax state teams. So you have to get lucky in the draft, like OKC's lucky in the draft. Think about the dynasties. The Spurs drafted well. They drafted Duncan, Ginobili, Parker. The Golden State, Draymond, Clay, and Steph.
Mm-hmm.
And the dynasties of the Lakers, of course, with Shaq and Kobe. So... all the other, there's no other dynasties that didn't draft well. You could trade free agents and all that, but you got to build it through the draft, I think. And you have to, and a lot of these GMs don't get, the criticism that draft terrible. Because it's not the coach, it's these GMs that need to get called out. Because I done seen it year after year that they don't get called out. And it's just, and it hurts a player of PG's caliber, who brings so much to the table that they don't build the right team around certain players. And then they waste their prime, and then it's just you get looked upon different amongst your peers.
Do you think OKC has a chance to have a dynasty? Because we were just talking about that on the last show. And what are your thoughts on them continuing to win?
I think they got the infrastructure for a dynasty. They got draft picks. They right now the cap space, but they're going to sign their players. What they're going to have to do is, all right, once you get their nucleus, they're going to have to continue to remake their bench.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they have a plethora of draft picks because them guys off the bench, they starters. Like Isaiah Joe, Wiggins, they going to be starters. Caruso, they going to be starters on other teams and they going to command more money in a couple more years. And you're not going to be able to pay everybody, so you're going to have to draft well again. And they're going to have to fill them roles with them other guys, but they got the infrastructure to be a dynasty.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought too. All the bench the bench guys you talking about, right? They gonna want to get paid. It's gonna have to come down to, do we want to win together or do we want to go get our bread?
No,
you know what I mean?
You got to get your money.
And you got to go get your bread. So at the end of the day, I don't.
They got their ring.
Yeah.
Especially now.
No, that's what I said. The same thing. In order for that dynasty shit to work there, they got to be all right, listen, we here to win.
Man,
but
window,
that's not.
Nobody's
our window
thinking
to
get this money. It's so short.
Yeah,
you never know.
Yeah.
If I'm them cats and they well, I got a ring. Do I want to get another ring for the $50 million, or be in the playoffs for the 100. Man, I'm going to the playoffs.
Yeah, I just figured out from there.
I'll try over here.
Right.
Yeah, like, come on, man. It's just like, that's a no-brainer. Especially you young, you gotta think about it. When you first get in the league, you trying to establish your name and get paid. Like, I don't care what nobody say. Yeah, you want to win. Yeah, okay, that's all cool. But you want to establish your name, and then when you get comfortable, you're like, all right, now it's more about winning. You trying to establish your name, establish your identity in the league, and then winning. I'm sorry to say, it do come secondary. Like, whether we want to say it or not. Nobody says it, but like, as a young player in the league, you trying to establish your identity and let everybody know I'm here.
Some of them getting that NIL money early now, though.
Yeah, it's different, but that NIL money ain't NBA money.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
There's levels to this.
It is.
I want to ask you this, though, P. Speaking of 2009, when your boy KG got hurt, do y'all think y'all would have beat the Magic and the Lakers if he wouldn't have got hurt?
Yeah, without a doubt. Because you understand, KG, I think he missed about 30 games. Like, in all. Man, we won 61 games. I think we would have won 70 games that year.
If he wouldn't have got hurt.
If he wouldn't have got hurt. Think about it. We didn't have KG for 30 games, and we still won 61 games.
That's a lot.
We knew we couldn't win it without him. Like, we had the base and our system to where we could win in the regular season, but you wasn't going to win no chip without KG. He's a heart and soul of everything that we did. But we can still get through the regular season. Yeah, big Lord.
Big Lord.
Lord.
He's stupid. I know what he said it for.
Oh, my God. Man. We should have. And then the next year, we went back to the finals. We pretty much coasted because we was older. We was getting older. We pretty much kind of coasted to 50 wins and then turned it up when the playoffs came because we understood how to win. But we feel like if Perkins don't get hurt, that's why I be saying to win it all, it's hard to win in this league. And you got to be good and lucky.
Yeah.
You got to luck. It has to be on your side at some point. Like Indiana, think about it. Like the shot bounces up. That's part of the journey. That's part of the luck. You know what I'm saying? So the year we won, we was down 20 in game 4 or something. We came back down 20 in game 4 against the Lakers. You're never supposed to win against another championship team down 20 on their home floor. Like, it don't happen. We got the ball bounced our way. We got lucky. We came back, won. So that was part of our luck. We got lucky in the second round versus LeBron, game 7. He went for 46. He was a monster in his 4th year. Along the way, everybody has luck, and I can name every champion who had a lucky, like Golden State first champion. They beat teams in every round that had an injury to their star. You know what I'm saying? OKC, I'm thinking like, shit, if Halliburton don't get hurt, they got a shot.
It looked like
He came out.
He was going for it.
He came out prepared.
He was going
ready
for it. He was going for the 40 ball. He was going for it. So it happens. KD tears his Achilles. Toronto don't beat them.
2019.
Yeah, no, not a chance.
That's what I'm saying. Like Toronto got lucky. Kawhi bounced. You got lucky. It's part of the journey. There's gonna be some luck along the way. I've seen too many times to like, damn, that is. And Doc used to say it. Like, we got to be good and lucky. It's real. It's a real thing.
Gotta be real and lucky.
It's a real thing. It's a real thing, dog. It's for real.
Well, hey,
it really is.
In this league, I mean, come on.
That's right. Hold on, you play with Doc. That's right. Hey, I will tell you, Doc, he got the best pregame speeches. I will tell you that. Though.
Yeah.
He give you a good pregame speech.
Now, that's one thing I did appreciate about Doc, man. He'll have you ready. He'll have you ready to hoop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He'll hit you with some shit that
Yeah, well,
it might have nothing to do with basketball.
He gonna try to teach you a lesson.
Yeah,
for real.
Some shit he read in the newspaper,
Right.
and he'll somehow tie that shit in to get you ready for that game.
Right. Yeah, he's the best at that.
I want to, because you spoke about the injuries, right? And this year we've seen, not just players, but stars go down.
Yeah.
DeJounte, Dame, Tyrese, Tatum. I think it's been reported from 1990 to 2023, 45 NBA players tore their Achilles, but 8 just in this season alone.
Yeah.
From your perspective, why you think that's such a common injury for the NBA now?
Man, that's crazy that you said that. Me and KG was just talking about this. Man, I think a lot of it is we say it's a combination of the like pace is a part of it, but we like, man, he like KG made an interesting point. He was like, they don't practice no more. You know what I'm saying? Because now you conditioned to play so many games. Like when you practice, like let me ask you this: like what year did you come in?
2010.
Okay, so now you done played in like, you can say like 3 eras now.
Yep.
So what's the difference from like, think about it, early 2010 and 11 till now?
It is the practice. And I'm the one for, like, I be pushing the coach, like, yo, we need to practice more. Like, we need to practice, like, because when I came in the league, I understood what that did
For the season. Yeah.
Like our preparation. Yeah, it was tough during like the practice days. Yeah, it was tough. It was a grind. But when we got in the games, it was easy.
It was easy.
It was easy.
The game was easy.
I know where you're going to be at. I know what you're doing. Cool.
That's
if
what
we
I'm
lose,
saying.
shit, we just ain't had legs. But everything else, easy.
That's what I say. I say like, because he was like, they don't practice no more because you have to be at a certain level, be in shape. Think about it. You don't practice for 2 days and you just go straight into a game going 110.
Yeah.
And then you, like, your body cold. But if you, like, the way you practice every day is like, it's going to help your condition for play. Like, I was so used to practicing every day that, like, the game was like, this 33 minutes I'm about to play in a game ain't nothing.
Right.
They're like, I just got off the floor 2.5 hours. We going up and down.
Right.
Like the day before. Shoot, I'll get some sleep. I'll recover. I'm a young athlete. I'm going to recover.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As long as you're getting your rest. But I attribute it to maybe the athletes are getting better. The pace is still up. But I think if they practice more, you condition your body to like, to do these things, not being all cold. Because like if I just get up right here and just go hoop, like I get up right here and just go hoop, I'm a strain something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if I get on the treadmill for 30, over here, jump rope, then go hoop, my body is going to be used to that already. So
Just to be clear though for the viewers, when you say like not practicing, is it more so like practice consists of just getting some shots up, or are you literally just not doing anything for a couple days? Or are you wanting just, hey, more like live game speed practice where it's replicating the game?
I think a bit of both, right? I think like, I don't think we're there where we need to because of how the game's being played now, right? It's a lot of up and down. It's a lot of that's taxing on our bodies now. So I'm not saying practice how we used to practice back in, even the 2010s for me. But I do think it needs to be, more than just kind of the shoot around type of practice where you're going through the motion. Like, nah, like if we're going to be here for 30, 45 minutes, like let's touch up. Like let's get something out of this. It's a waste of time to be here for 45 minutes and we just, kind of walking through shit. We not prepared. We not ready. I hate walking through plays. Yeah. Cause the who we playing, they ain't going like
nothing.
I might know I might know the play, but shit.
Right.
That I was able to stop that because we walking through it. Like I don't know how fast he gonna back cut this or the pace of he gonna fly off this screen. You know what I mean?
Everything.
Yeah, like, it's easy and walk through. Like we can point switch. This. But then when it's in games, you wonder why shit falls in the crack because you point switching all the time. And then you get in the games like point switch, but shit, we ain't even close to even point switch because they going faster than what we expected. Right. So I think it do need to be like a little bit more emphasis on like actually getting something out of practice.
Do you think that I saw Mason? I think it was Cam's take, but he blamed the low tops.
Hell no.
That has nothing to do with it. Right? Yeah. I think he tweeted like.
Well, he did say he don't know the knowledge. He did let that out be known first.
I was reading that. I'm like, there's no way.
Nah, it ain't that.
Yeah.
Did you know PG is the only player that's playing from his draft class?
Still in the league?
Yeah.
From 2010?
Retired. He's the only one. That's crazy. When he said 2010, I said, I just remember the last person retired was the white boy.
Yeah, Gordon
Hayward. Who's the number 1 pick in your draft?
John Wall.
Right. Damn.
Yep. That's a minute ago.
That's crazy.
Damn, that is crazy.
That's crazy.
You know what, another thing too, that the players don't play as much as the players in my era talking about pickup. Like that was my whole summer. Like I played pickup every day. You know what I'm saying? So I was conditioned to play from first day of training camp because I played every day. It's different You know, because everybody is doing a lot of more individuals. I can't even remember doing individual work. Like, because everything I did was 5-on-5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so now it looked like everybody kind of got like the same game.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now. You know what I'm saying? Everybody doing like kind of the same little move. Like the creativity of the game ain't what it used to be. You know, ain't no like, you know, rondos or white chocolates or like, you know, Steve Francis is like maybe some Steve Francis with the handles, but like the creativity, you know, the magic, just like the creativity of the game is like, it's kind of gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's 3 and D.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Everybody developing into that.
Yeah. Because it ain't like, to your point, that shit ain't coming from the player. It's coming from the trainer.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. The imagination's not
the imagination gone. This was what my trainer taught me to do. So in this moment, shit, I'm gonna pull that out. You know what I mean?
Right,
it ain't. If he beat me this way, shit, let me try to, like, cause I didn't did this in pickup. Like I know I got this in my bag. Like it ain't. To your point, yeah, it ain't none of that no more.
Yeah, like Baron David watching BD with his man, you know, just
didn't know what was gonna happen.
You didn't know what they was gonna do.
Right.
Right. It was like, dang. So I think that's kind of gone. But you know, the athletes are better. The skill is a lot better. You know, as far as just like the dribbling and the shooting. I will say that. Like when I came into the league, I think only like the athleticism is off the charts, by the way. I think only like Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady can go through the legs. Now it's like at least 2 or 3 cats on your team that can do that dunk.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Think about that. Vince, Tracy, and maybe like 2 other cats was doing it. Man, you got like 3-4 cats on each team now that can do that. I'm like, damn, the athleticism is crazy.
I think what I'm about to ask you right now is because he said this because he came out of high school, I say, and he's been playing for so long. The other day, LeBron James said the league should have 10-minute quarters. And some NBA players say the NBA season should be shortened. So I'm going to put you in a commissioner seat right now. And I want to know what's your take and what's one change or rule you would implement if you were the NBA commissioner.
Oh, that's a good one.
This is gonna be good.
This is really
I don't know,
good.
'cause we always talk about this. Like, I would like, you know what's bothering me now about the NBA right now is just the amount of threes. Like, you know, like I saw the Celtics shoot 60 threes in the game. Like, I was just like, damn, they could just take it to the bucket. I would just like implement like threes can only be shot at a certain point of the game. Like make the 3 LED, turn that shit off.
And then once it turns,
And then turn it on. Like, oh, there you go. Fucking dribbling. Look, we're going to get an LED 3.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's off for the next 3-4 minutes. You ain't going to know when it's off, though.
Yeah.
But you know for the next 5 minutes it's gone. But it's always on the last 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
For you to try to come back. That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
But you got to implement. I think you
dope.
got to start implementing like the FIBA rules. You know, I think they right about that because that's the way they play around the world, like the goaltending. And I don't know, do they still widen? They don't widen the lane no more, do they? Is that USA?
Yeah, FIBA.
In FIBA they do, but not
FIBA
Olympics.
They do. Yeah, not Olympics. Nah, they don't.
No.
Nope.
It's the same.
Nope.
sensitive subject.
Yeah, but I would implement
kinda
a lot of the
white leg?
world.
My leg?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
but-
big?
yeah,
The
yeah.
basket was closer though, wasn't it?
No,
Or
but he's talking about the he's
lane.
talking about the
lane?
lane.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you almost could raise the basket like another inch or two. The athletes are so good.
Shit, only
not for me.
You would want the-
Wemby be only one.
The goaltending would be crazy, I feel like, just because of just the athletes in today's league. Like they'd be
Adjust to the athlete, adjust to the skill. Like
Yeah.
move the 3-point line back.
Yeah.
They can shoot way better now.
Because that's how they shoot.
Move
They
the
shoot
free
it
throw
like it's
back.
nothing.
Further back.
Move the free throw back like the NFL moved the field goal back.
that's not a valid point.
Now these ain't gimmies no more. You really gotta make a free throw. Move the shit back. Make
That'd be crazy.
Make the court larger. These athletes are amazing athletes. That just stands out to me.
So if you make it larger, would they want to
Let's go
shorten
from
the
like
time?
94 feet to 100 feet.
But then are you, because now you
Let's
flirting
get
with,
widen it out a little bit, and then we're gonna have some real
Yeah.
space and pace.
but I think that's gonna change pace. That's gonna change pace of play. Like that's gonna change.
No, because the player's always gonna adjust. They always gonna get in better shape. They always are.
Yeah.
We adjust to everything.
But I think so. Okay.
At first, it may be look that way. But
Are you going for? So with your rule, are you now bringing back the post big man?
Yep.
Got to.
Yes. You got to.
Got to.
You got to.
You got to.
That's old
Yeah,
school.
let's bring
got to.
that's a part of the game.
Yeah.
Like, let them work. Get like you have to if you do that.
'Cause you don't see that no more.
No, because the court longer, so you gonna have to kind of sometimes slow it down.
Slow it down. Yeah. Ain't no three. We gonna take advantage
You
of
bring
that.
back you bring it back to the basket.
Yep.
As soon as that like,
You know what I'm saying?
And be like, that's such a bad shot, bro. Like,
as soon as they see that
Offensive
LED.
bags, they not the same. I think we have better offensive bag. You know, like
But y'all had uniqueness too. Everybody
Yeah.
was different.
everybody
you know what I mean?
was different. That's what I'm saying. Everybody was different.
Yeah.
Like I feel like everybody emulate, now.
Because back then, like I'm just thinking about like my time, right? Like
Yeah.
you had there was a Dirk Nowitzki step back. There was a Paul Pierce fade. There was a
Yeah.
Jordan fade, a Kobe fade. Now, like the only
who
one
got
that
the
really stands
signature
out
move?
is Steph's. It's kind of Steph and
Dame.
maybe James.
Maybe Dame.
James is like
James is
created
pretty.
what
Yeah,
everyone's
James
trying to do
created.
now.
James kind of old school with the creativity.
Man, I don't think James get enough credit for changing the game.
Right. Yeah.
Like I said that. Like they say Steph, but like James too.
Yep.
Like his a lot of kids is doing his shit.
Yep.
Like, and people don't talk about that.
Yep.
I be saying
I think, and this might be a hot take. I think James, when he had because that's how teams, like if James were around for how teams got to be built now, because you give him the ball, he can create, he can make everything.
Yeah.
Right. He ran into the super teams.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if James is a part of this shit now, fresh
Right.
James, like it might have been
Yeah.
difficult. You know what I mean? It might have
Right.
been difficult for motherfuckers to get past James.
Right. And he was they changed a lot of rules because of him.
Mm-hmm.
Like they changed because he was the first, I guess what they call it, a foul merchant now.
A foul.
But like they had to say, all right, we can't give him that call no more. He's too
Right.
dominant with this.
Right.
He outsmarting the refs.
Right.
So the refs they had to come back. Every year they come back with
Got
a
something
new
for you.
a new rule. Like, okay, we're not going to allow this now. They was doing that every year with James, and so he don't get enough credit for like his changing of the game.
Being a pro athlete is a year-round grind. Training doesn't stop, even in the summer's heat. No matter how hot the summer gets, Liquid IV can help keep you hydrated for the adventures ahead. This offseason, I've been using Liquid IV, and I love how easy it is. Just tear, pour, and enjoy.
That's right, P. I was on set the other day and I ripped open a pack of Liquid IV to keep me fresh during those long shoots. You can use them anywhere, anytime, late nights, during a workout, or even when you're on a summer vacation.
It contains 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink, plus 8 vitamins and nutrients. Just 1 stick plus 16 ounces of water. Hydrates better than water alone. Turn your ordinary water into extraordinary hydration.
The summer heat means it's the perfect time to try the new Arctic raspberry flavor.
You heard the guy. Squeeze the most out of your summer with Liquid IV. Tear, pour, live more. Go to liquidiv.com and get 20% off your first order with code PODCASTP at checkout. That's 20% off your first order with code PODCASTP at liquidiv.com. So break the mold and your own ritual and try Liquid IV.
I gotta keep it on your boy KG, man, because you know this man better than any of us sitting down at this table. And we all know how intense and how wild his black ass was when he was in the NBA. So I got to ask you, what the hell is it like having him as a teammate? And you two have been teammates, for how many years y'all played?
I don't even, let's see, he came in 2008 and we played up until, I think we played like 5 or 6 years in Boston.
5.
But I've been knowing KG since high school.
Exactly, and off the court. Y'all do
Yeah.
your podcast. So
Yeah.
with that said, please tell me, what is it like on a day-to-day basis when you are with this guy, man? With Lord.
Well, Lord, hey, so look, he don't turn off. it's never like what you see on our podcast is the same as what you see on the court. It's intense. Like he'll get the sweating while we doing our podcast. You got to give him some napkins. Right. For real, I'll be like, Lord, shut down. Like, Lord,
turn it off.
You didn't even walk in.
That's just him. That's just him. You know what I'm saying? And then like people look like, oh, that's no, he just he like that off the court, like with the kids. Like, come on, get in the car. Let's go. Get in the car. But then he actually do have a switch because he like being around him is like it's gravitating because he got the best stories. Like man, it's just like he got an aura about him, like because he hella funny. Like I mean you see him on it, but like I just remember sometimes on the plane. So like this is hilarious. We be on the plane, in the league. And, Lord will tell a story, boom, to this year's team. So, next year we might have a couple new rookies or free agents. So I'm over here, I always be just in the, I know all the stories. So I'm here to tell the story. I done heard the story a million times. So now I'm over here like, man, this nigga just done added some shit to this story. And so like every year, he added something to the story I didn't hear. And I'll be on here, and I ain't gonna blow his spot up. And he gonna add something extra to the story every year. No, that used to be so funny. It went from a lion to a dragon. It'll go from like, an ant to a rock. It's just like, it's just extra. It's like an extra on it. But then he'll be sitting there and all the rookies and players listening. And they be like, it's like a campfire. They leaning it. I'm on the side like, man, he's lying right now. But that was the funny part about KG.
He top five. He top five storytellers for sure.
I promise you, the story got better every time too. I can't explain it. You just gotta come. Yeah. Like you gotta come to the podcast.
No, for sure. Please invite me, man.
For sure.
Whenever. I'm pulling up whenever.
Speaking of KG, it just looks like every time he would play basketball, he just looked like he was ready. And, maybe he had some pregame stuff that he would do, but there's a clip. I don't know if they're going to show it again, but the clip of him where he's got the little water bottle, he throws it in his face, and then he spits it up in the air. Like, were you ever on the bench looking at this dude? Like, bro, like...
Nah, but like, you do. I mean, that's just him. He's so intense, man. You don't know what he gonna do, because before the game, I don't know, like, if you look at him before the game, before the jump ball, he gonna be in a full sweat. Like, you done seen him, PG. Man, that man gonna be full lather sweat. Like, and then before he goes to the jump ball, he gonna hit his head against the post, the goal post.
Yep.
And just like, that's just like the thing is, like, before the game, you couldn't really say nothing to KG. Yeah. Like, he not talking to you, like, Ticket. He's so locked in, you can't even tell him nothing. Like, he'll be in the back. So if we're in the locker room, he'll get his tape. He got his peanut butter and jelly sandwich. He gonna, then he just kind of like be in a zone. Like, you can't even, like, you could be right here, like, hey, Tick. He gonna just act like he didn't feel nothing. He's locked in.
Yeah.
Hey, Tick. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? But if you don't know Tick, and you a young fella, you're going to learn that quick. And you don't just leave him alone until the game starts. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We had a rookie come in. Check this out. We playing pickup. We in there September. We got a rookie come in. This was like 2010 or something, whatever. KG didn't come to the first day of pickup. So he got there the third day of the week. It was early September. So the rookie was like, he didn't have no shoes. So out of all the people that wore 15s, he grabbed KG's. That was a mistake. So now we on the court. KG looked down like, yo, what the fuck you doing on my shoes? Man, I think he probably ripped them off his feet, right? Like, dog, like, it was like, and from that point on, it was all bad for the rookie the whole year.
The whole year.
Yeah, I think his name was J.R. Giddens. J.R. Giddens. You heard
okay,
J.R. Giddens.
Yep.
It was J.R. Giddens.
Yep.
man, it was all bad for him. You know, because this is our first kind of introduction to like the new generation now. So it's around 2010, 11. This is our new generation. You know, we not used to this. So now he coming on the bus.
Right.
And this doing all this, we like, hey, Rick, we don't do that, dog. You know, we start seeing the new stuff. Like, you know, like, hold on, man, chill, dog, chill. Like, we ain't feeling that. You know, like, and then after, like, it was just like, man, that was the first, you know, this is the new school for us now. But we was still on our old school tactics.
Yeah.
So he was out of there that year, the next year. But it was just
Doing
like,
too much dancing.
when I started seeing the change of everything as I got older, just seeing the new school come in and how they was doing it, it was just like, damn, you know, I knew that was kind of like the beginning of the end. Like when iPhone was doing the social media, when I got to Washington, man, it wasn't nobody wasn't on the court until shoot around started. Like, you know, I'm used to being out there an hour before shoot around, warming up, sweating, lifting.
Yep.
You know, boom, doing my then I go in the locker room like, what y'all doing? Everybody on their
Motherfuckers
phone.
on their phones, huh?
Like, damn, this is the new. And you don't want to turn them off because you want them to go hard for you. But that's when I just started really like, you know, it's probably time for me to start. I knew it was headed. It was the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
When I started seeing that.
I'm nosy as hell, B, and I don't think you know that, so I got to bring up some old shit for you
Talk to me.
because I'm nosy. So I got to ask, man, what is your perspective on the night Carmelo Anthony was waiting by the bus for your boy KG? And, you know, they call you Truth.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to ask you right now to give me the truth on that whole incident when they had the words on the court, man, and he was waiting.
Yeah, so I didn't hear what was said. You know, it's a lot of speculation on that. And I never asked him. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know it was going to escalate to that because we was on the court and I was just like, damn, you know, KG used to getting under people's skin. You know, he'll say something foul. But, you know, I don't know if he ever, well, maybe he had crossed the line a couple of times. Like, damn, now that I think about it. Like he just said, so I didn't hear him say, but I didn't hear him in New York. And so I was still in the locker room, I guess. You know, and I guess him, T. Lou, and Big Baby went down there. I guess Carmelo was down. This is what I heard before I even came down from the shower, because it was just like, it escalated quick, like Melo down there. Like, you know, you got to walk down the ramp or take the elevator down to where we all kind of be right there. They cars is there, our bus right there. And I got on the bus and I'm like, you know, we're ticking. It was like, they out there, something going down. So I get off the bus like, damn, what's going on? But about time, all of that, I guess they had shook hands or something. They, you know, whatever that was. But Melo felt like it was something disrespectful said. Like to this day, like I said, I never asked KG, like, man, what did you really say? Or like, cause I'll be watching the tape and I don't see, and I ain't see where he said anything. But honestly, Melo ain't gonna be like that.
Yeah.
Right. You know, I know Mel ain't gonna just overreact to something that was some bullshit. So to this day, I just, you know, I think they squashed it. Maybe I don't even know. I think I heard Melo on this podcast, you know, say they talked or whatever. But I to this day, I swear to you, on my kid, I never asked him what he said in that situation. And it's a few things that's happened on my team with a few teammates, and I don't want to even know, you know. And it's real speculation. Like even the stuff with Delonte and LeBron, I don't even ask. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Some things don't need to be brought up.
I don't need to know that type of stuff.
Lord, don't ask me that shit.
Yeah, I don't even need to know that stuff. You know, I just like whatever. I mind my business. I stay out of everybody else.
Yeah, I think one thing the newer generation respect, you know, especially like obviously we love being critiqued, right? We love, you know, you got the Shaqs who kind of poke at you to motivate you. It's more coming from a place of, I see the potential. I know you could be better, but I think it offends some people because they think they're attacking them.
Yeah.
You know, you come off in a way of critiquing, but, you know, it's a way of receiving it because the approach, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't ever put guys down. It's kind of just understanding the times and, you know, I
think you
think
have
you
to do that.
you played the game. You've been a superstar. I think you see it in the lens of where I've been there, done that. I know what this is like. I know what he's going through. Do you feel the fans? Do you feel players kind of, you know, do you think they kind of, the way you view the game, you think they kind of see the way that you're approaching it?
Yeah, I think so.
They're like receptive of it, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm one that's like, look, I love this new generation.
Mm-hmm.
Like the game is growing. Like we can't be stuck on our ways as old school and stuff. Like the game is growing. I'm glad that I can say that I helped elevate this game for the next generation to get more money, to be allowed to express themselves through the way they dress or whatever they say. You know what I'm saying? I like the fact that what I don't like is like where some of these former players just think it's their way or the highway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That brand of ball don't exist out here.
Right.
Like, you know, just because you did it that way, that won't work today.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they criticize that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just is what it is. I feel like with this group, you just got to fall in line. Like we had like you got to understand, when I was in the league as a young player, the older players was doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, and learning from that, I just was like, you know what, we can't be like our older generation.
Mm-hmm.
We got to be more receptive to them so they receptive to us, so we can have conversations. So like, you know, I go to NBA games. I see young fellas. I go to UCLA. And I don't want them looking at me like, oh, this is a hater or something like that.
Right.
You know, I might hate on some teams because of, like, I hate on New York.
Right.
That was our rival.
Right.
Right.
You know, that's
You got a
what
right
that
to
friendly.
is.
That's a
That's
friendly
what that
thing,
is.
yeah.
Okay, that's just fun for me.
Right.
You know, but outside of that, like, I admire where the game is. I admire these new generational players, and I respect them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's key.
Mm-hmm. I've seen MJ joining the NBA on NBC. And one of his biggest
Finally.
reasons was to kind of how you view the game, like give our players their flowers, like to be kind of a positive voice and uplifting our players. Do you think that kind of put to rest some of the other players that kind of give the negative? Like if MJ saying this shit.
If MJ come out and just give the flowers, everybody gonna have to shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Like it's MJ.
Yeah.
If you seeing the GOAT, like, look, all right, I think the rest of the older school players older than me will fall in line.
Mm.
You know, I think that's important. I'm glad that Mike is going to be able to come out and give his perspective.
Finally.
Yeah.
I mean, that
That's gonna
man
be
was a
different.
busy man. That man
Yeah.
been traveling the world,
Smoking cigars.
smoking cigars,
Playing golf.
Racing cars.
running his billy up with his shoes. Man, he deserved that.
Yeah, I think that alone is going like bring traffic to the NBA. Like that, the views alone from just hearing MJ. Like I ain't even got to watch the game. I could go do what I got to do and hear MJ talk about the shit.
I feel like that's like
The
a
NBA
football
probably
thing
did that
typically.
for him.
Yeah.
The football
Yeah.
guys, all the old school legends, they,
But
you know,
like
they're
when Tom Brady
That's what I'm
started
saying. I
calling
was
about to
games,
say.
bro, it was
Yeah.
just even Tony Romo, like
Yep.
their perspective on the game is just like, damn, they see it differently. Like they calling shit
Yeah.
out. I ain't even know what to look for. Now I see what's happening
Right.
because
I
of
would
Tony
love
Romo's
Yeah.
to
calling it
hear
out.
Jordan's take on the game today
Yeah.
when he talk. Oh my God.
I read
did not
though,
know
and
that.
Pierce, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, and it kind of contradicts what you said. I thought Stephen A. came out and said that they maybe had a discussion and that MJ is gonna. It was more harsh, like he's gonna call it how he sees it, and that MJ is not gonna hold back on it if he like it was more of a harsh stance.
I saw it differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that? I thought. Yeah, he said something like that.
Okay. All right, well, we got to take
I'm
Stephen
just
A.
saying,
word.
it'll be interesting either way. But I want to ask you about another one of your teammates, Kendrick Perkins.
Yeah.
And he's in the media space now as well. And I'm just kind of curious with your relationship with him as a teammate, as a friend, if you guys have that relationship. Did you ever think that a guy like Kendrick Perkins would become like a media guy, or was it kind of out of left field from your perspective?
I didn't know or think that was be in his future, but I know when I was retired, he would ask me about it because I jumped in it right when I retired.
Mm-hmm.
I actually was doing it my last 2 years because I worked the finals while I played,
Mm-hmm.
and then when I retired, I was already doing stuff with ESPN. But I think he he gets it, and I think he's doing a fabulous job, by the way. You know, I think, you know, I question some of his things, and I have told him, like, hey, you know, chill out. You know, they can't be talking to about Coach Mazzulla like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's good to see, you know, more and more former players in the space, because I think the players will respect that more than some journalists ripping you all the time and saying these things, because I didn't respect that when I didn't play. There was certain journalists that'll say stuff, and I'd be like, who the hell is he?
Right.
Like, who are you?
Right.
So, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like I hope I run into you and see if you can say that to my face.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, to have players, you know, more and more into the space, and I love, like, with Amazon and NBC is like, I'm seeing like all the people they hire, like Carmelo, D Wade, all the Blake Griffin, you know, Candace Parker. I love the fact that we're gonna get more and more on a national television scene of the player's perspective, because when you, I can accept it more.
Right.
When it comes from people who've played at the high level.
Right. And at the end of the day, it's from a place of being coached too. You know what I mean? It's they critiquing you, but it's also they coaching you. You know what I mean? Like, they seeing it differently, so it is easier to take. Coming from someone that did it, like it's you teaching, you critiquing, you breaking me down, but you also showing me what I'm doing wrong, and what I could get better.
They could
at.
keep it like in that lane and not make everything so debatable.
Yeah.
You know, that's cool, because that's what you're there to do. You're there to analyze. You're there to say how you feel. And, you know, at times you can be critical. That's part of the job. And I think that's what the newer generation got to understand too.
Yeah, it's true. Last episode, we asked P his take on T-Mac comments that T-Mac said he would have won a ring if he was with Shaq instead of Kobe. So you played against Kobe on the biggest stage. So do you agree with T-Mac, the take from T-Mac?
Yeah, I completely agree with that. T-Mac, I'm telling you, dog, listen, T-Mac was another level. He needed that one other superstar. If you had to put T-Mac with KG, if you had to put T-Mac with Shaq, you know, people would be like, oh, he played with Yao. Yao was kind of hurt. He was in and out. And, like, you put T-Mac with LeBron. Man, come on.
Just anybody that's a star. Wemby right now.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, think about the guys who are fortunate to play with each other. You know, Wade and Bron. You put Wade and Mac for sure.
Right.
Like, you know, Kobe and Shaq. T-Mac and Shaq.
Yeah.
Like, man, come on. It would have been ridiculous.
I wonder why he said you think Shaq and not Kobe, though.
What you mean you think?
Like, he could have won it with Shaq. I mean, with Kobe as well. Don't you think?
That might have been a little bit more difficult. Shaq is Shaq. That's why it's
I know, but he said
that's a good
any
one.
other superstar.
I mean, I think because they're in the same position, right? And they've been, you know.
That team would have been tough to beat. Kobe and T-Mac?
That's what I'm
Man,
saying.
that would have gave you night. You wouldn't be able to sleep. Like, like you're gonna wake up, like, even like me as a perimeter dude, and I'm guarded in 2 and the 3. I'm like, it don't matter which one I got to guard tonight. We'll pick my poison. Like, damn, which one I'm gonna? Ain't no break.
Right.
Ain't no break with either one of them.
Right.
Like, you know, a break could probably be T-Mac, because Kobe had that killer instinct.
Yeah.
You know, Mac did too. Just like, man, that would have been a nightmare. You would have started talking about Pippen, Jordan type shit with them two. Yeah, I wonder who would have like
happened.
Played the like kind of second fiddle with them, because T-Mac was so skilled. I remember telling T-Mac, I was like, man, you probably the most skilled player I ever played against. Like, it was just like it was ridiculous, because I didn't get a chance. Like, I played against Cole, but I played against T-Mac way more.
Yeah, being on the East, huh?
Being on the East, you know, I'm playing against him 4 times a year, and it's like, damn, I remember that. That was a gauntlet. The East was a gauntlet. At the perimeter, man, especially like, damn, by the time you got in, you gotta understand, like, it was like every single night it was somebody. Vince, T-Mac, you had Jamal Mashburn when I came in, Big Dog Robinson, and then Melo came in. It was like the perimeter. Then you had Cole, Sean Marion. The perimeter was ridiculous. Like, every single night I had to play against an all-star, I felt like, in the East. And like, And like Danny Granger was there before you. He was an
Yeah.
all-star.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
It was like the East with Ray Allen in Milwaukee. It was just like every night I felt like, "Dawg, I ain't getting no rest.
Yeah.
Like, no rest.
Yeah,
So
the night
it's
of-
like,
Because it's funny you brought up Danny, because I think Danny my OG, right?
Yeah.
I think the world of Danny. Danny was one of the like toughest, because that's who I was sparring against when I was coming out in the
Right.
draft. Danny was the one I was working out with.
Yeah.
Like, so I got a chance. He helped develop me and get me to where I was at. And just ironically, I fell to Indy where he was at. I'm sure the conversations of us working out probably helped, but
yeah.
just because people sleep on Danny and how good Danny was
Danny
and
was-
how strong as fuck Danny was. Like,
Man, Danny was a monster. That's what
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you. He was an all-star.
yeah,
You know, and he
Danny
was he was
cold.
one of the more underrated players in the NBA because he could shoot, he can get to the basket, athletic. I mean, not as athletic as like
Mhm.
like you.
He was one of
and
them
that's-
sneak get
sneaky
you.
athletic, but he was high IQ. Could get to a spot, but like Danny, I like Danny game a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, he don't really get the Michael Redd. I forgot about
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
It was like
yeah.
like every night. It was just like it was crazy. Then let me think. Who was down in Orlando? Even like Turgaloo. Forgot about him. He was a problem.
He
I ain't
was
gonna
tough,
lie. He was a
cold.
problem.
Yeah, he was cold.
Man, he was a problem, dude. He hit a game winner on me on national TV.
That shit brought back memories quick.
I was sick.
You see, he
He
forgot.
had me at the top. I challenged it hard too. Like, man, pop on like ABC. I'm like,
I keep
But
thinking
the
about
game
what you
really-
said about how it was just different back there, and the game looks the same. All those
Yeah.
guys you just listed off are just all
But that was
different
the
sorts of.
perimeter.
It
Yeah.
was just, but still, like that. What a gambit of different players
like the
and
perimeter is not like this is the point guard area maybe more so.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I was in
small
the
ball.
perimeter area because like who's the best two guard in the league?
Right now,
Right now,
Shay.
Shay's considered he's the one.
Shay.
Oh, is he considered
He
the
a
point?
one.
Yeah, come on.
and
he got the
Booker.
ball in his
Okay,
hand.
yeah.
Like think about our level, our top two guards. It was Kobe, Wade, Iverson, Ray Allen. Like you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like, it's
it
not-
goes
I don't
with
think
names.
I don't think that's kind of like the top tier was top tier. You know, at the perimeter position. You know, I came in against Jordan. I mean, not Jordan. Scottie Pippen and Grant Hill. Grant Hill.
Grant
I forgot
Hill,
about Grant
different.
Damn, I almost cried
Love
my rookie
Grant
year.
Hill.
The way he
Yeah, and he got hurt.
the way he
The
killed
way
me.
he.
The way he
I
He was trying to get all of
he went at me so crazy that I had to rethink my position in the NBA. I was just like, damn, can I even play in the league?
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
could not do nothing with him. I couldn't stop no move he gave me. It was just like every time, damn, I got exposed. And I was
Yeah.
like, hold on, I got to get my shit together.
Well, there's been a lot of talk around the NBA just on the ring culture.
Yeah.
And being a champion yourself, do you think that the fans and the media judge great players too harshly for not winning? Or are you in the mindset that that's a fair criticism since winning is the ultimate goal?
I think it's fair, you know, because think about this. Like, what am I even playing for? Am I playing for the money? Am I playing for notoriety? Like, you grow up in the park and you go and spend countless hours because you want to win.
Mm-hmm.
And the great ones, they all show that they can win. And that's why, like, all the great ones we know to be at the top. But the thing is, the cats who don't win rings, they get their credit down. Don't think that we don't talk highly of, like, Iverson, guys like Charles Barkley, Karl Malone. Like, they in the top, like, these is top 75 players.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And if you, like you got to ask the players, like, who played against them. This media stuff is different. You know, if you put an Iverson with Shaq, do they win a title? I think so. Like I said,
I
you
agree
gotta
with
have
that.
the right situation, the right team, the right owner to like capitalize on their generational players. It don't happen for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't, and that's why Bron left Cleveland because he wasn't confident in the ownership to put the pieces around him to help him win. And that's where we at today. You know, to that, like the players just taking it in their own hand to say, man, I'm not trusting ownership to like, and riding it out with ownership to help me get to where I need to go to the next level. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna go over here. And the grass may not be greener on the other side, but I like the fact that the players is just taking control and putting their destiny in their own hands. Because now there's no excuse.
Right.
That is true.
Right. All right. Before we wrap, we want to introduce this new segment that we want to call P or Not P.
Yeah.
And Bunky here is gonna break it down for us. What you got for us, Bunky?
All right, so fellas, we gonna ask Paul about some questionable but funny moments in his career. And everyone can share what it's P or not P, and y'all know what that means, all right?
Yeah.
So first up, back in 2014, this shit was funny. After game one of your surprise wins in Toronto, you celebrated by throwing your headband into the crowd.
Oh, wow.
And one of the fans said, and threw it back.
Right.
So
And then he threw it
Somewhere else.
again.
Show the rest. Did they throw it back
Hold on,
again?
did he throw it again? Was it twice?
Somebody else
There's
caught it.
one.
That's one. And then other dude catches it. What do you do? Let's see.
Oh, he kept it. He kept that. Oh, man. That's P.
That's P right there.
That's P.
What is that? That's P?
That's P.
Anonymous P. Yep.
That's P.
Yep.
That's P. Was there a backstory to that? Was that a
Nah,
heckler?
you know what? Going into that series, I trolled the Toronto team. I was
Okay.
like, they not like that.
Yeah.
You know, so the story was like, I said they don't got the it factor or something. So it was a big article with me looking like an old wizard or an old man or something. I think, wait, was it? I said they ain't like that or something like that. And then I just was like, here, take the headband, y'all. You know, pretty much here. You lucky I don't do something else.
All right.
I knew they was gonna do that because they hated me in Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I always got booed up there.
Yeah.
Man, it was fun though.
We have another clip of you trying to kick a field goal with Keyshawn Johnson at his old high school. But the only problem is, I think, is you had some jeans on.
No,
So
dog,
Let's
look,
see.
man, look, I
Low.
tried to pull my pants up like,
All you see is ankles.
dog, look.
You see is ankles.
Look, I'm trying to tell you, dog. It looked like you could do it on TV, but when you really get out there, dog, it's like you can't. Like I didn't want to pull my hamstring. Like it's hard. Man, then hold on, look at the field.
Yeah.
I'm like, Keyshawn, this dirt. I need grass. I'm kicking on dirt. They can do this on grass. This ain't grass. I need grass. I need grass or some artificial turf. Come on. That shouldn't count.
So what is this? This P
That ain't
or
P.
not P?
That ain't P.
That's not P.
That's not P.
What you gonna
That's
do?
not P.
I'm gonna go P for the cause.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go P for the
I'm
cause.
gonna go just for the attempt to get out there and just
For the
put
kids,
yourself out there. Good.
Because y'all did something for the hood.
Oh yeah. We was just talking to the kids. It was all high
that's
school.
That's P for
I would
kids
say-
to see.
I would say not P because of the ankles.
No, but I had to pull the pants up.
All right, we got another one. We had DeAndre Jordan on the show last season, and he
damn.
reminisced on the night that you pulled up at his crib in Texas to get him to re-sign with the Clippers. But according to him, you had never met him before.
Nah, I ain't never met.
Pulling up on.
pulling up on strangers' home.
Did he say
to
he
help
like
the
locked
squad.
he locked him in a room or some shit?
He said he locked him in a room.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think
We all
he remember
did.
that.
We all did.
Okay.
Because it was like me, CP, Doc, Bomber. We all flew on Bomber's private jet. Like, no, we bringing the papers for him to sign.
Yeah.
You know, so they wanted me on there. So I flew with him, never meeting DJ, walking up in his house, meeting everybody. Yeah, it was like, I was part of the cause. We was trying to re-sign a big fella.
I say that's P.
Yeah, you know what I'm
That's the
saying? We was
show
trying to
P.
re-sign
I
a
say
big
that's
fella.
P.
He was like one of the top big men at that time. So
Yeah.
they needed to get him back,
Yeah.
because he was contemplating going somewhere else. It was
I
like,
think
nah.
Dallas at the
Yeah.
time, he said.
Yeah. So we was like, nah, let's go, Paul. Come on, we want you to come. So I jumped on the private jet with Bomber and all them. We went down to Houston where he lived.
That
Yeah.
was something like they did to you, right?
Who?
When they brought Dr. J.
Oh yeah.
And
They
everybody
pulled out.
cheer.
They pulled out the stops.
And
They
then
pulled
lock him
out
in his house.
They like
Like,
in the house, bro.
Yeah.
No, somebody put a chair on the door. No, somebody
Oh,
did.
y'all all the way. Like, listen.
Oh yeah, he not going nowhere.
Yeah,
They
you ain't
put
going
the chair at a tilt.
Yeah.
Like no, they did. Yeah. Yeah,
little switch in there. Yeah.
They had a little lock.
Yeah.
Old school.
They did. I remember they did that.
Oh, that's
Until he
funny.
signed the papers.
P or not P?
I'm
That's
going
P.
P. I'm
That's
going
P.
P. That's
P.
P.
going P.
I say that's P.
Before we wrap, I want to shout out my high school. Shout out Coach Hegry for winning the CIF Southern Section Championship. They defeated, I believe, Cedar Hill. So shout out to them. I wore the sweater just for them for this episode. P, appreciate you being a part of the episode,
no doubt,
brother.
dog. No doubt, fellas.
Yeah,
No doubt.
Yes, sir. This definitely was a special
The
one.
legend.
Y'all keep checking us out and stay tuned.